You know the company that makes those motorized stabilizers? Zhiyun? They make lights now. A few weeks back, NAB unveiled their new B series line that got a lot of people interested. I didn't even know Zhiyun made lights, but they launched their Molded G series, their Cinepure line, and now they're adding their B series, which launched today. Zhiyun did send me this light to review before the launch. I'm not getting paid, but just to give an honest review. I do own multiple lights, from the SmallRig 450B to the Nanlite Pavo Slim, so I'm sure many of you are curious if this Zhiyun B series light is worth investing into. Shut all these windows. Let there be light. Ta-da! I'm sorry you had to watch the whole thing, me setting up the light. I thought it'd be pretty cool to put in the video. However, they sent me over the B100. 100 means 100 watts. It's the output of the light. However, I think it is perfect for a small space like this. If you're working in a larger area, they do have bigger sizes. They have the B100, the 200, the 300, and the 500. I think they skipped out on the 400. I'm not entirely sure why. Zhiyun, if you are watching, why didn't you guys make a 400? There's gonna be people out there that are like,
why didn't you make a 400?
Anyway, I wanna talk about the one thing about this light that really surprised me. I need you guys in the comment section below to tell me whether you think it's a good or bad thing, okay? It's this guy right here. This guy right here plugs to the bottom of the light. This guy right here plugs directly into the wall. What's really nice about the B series is the power supply is integrated into the light. So you don't need any sort of power adapter. And especially when you're moving over to the higher wattage lights like the 300 watts and above, it would oftentimes require a power unit like this guy. And if you look, it's actually bigger than this light itself. Now let's go ahead and talk about the quality of the light. What is it made out of? How does it feel? Does it feel like it's built to last, or is this like a cheap plastic toy? And yes, it's made out of plastic. It's definitely a strong plastic. I have a SmallRig 450B, which the casing of the light is also plastic, and it is going strong. I haven't had any issues, and same with this light. But the question is the longevity of the light. Will the plastic casing affect the light long term? I'm not sure. It's got 3 fans, 1, 2, and 3 on each side, and that made me question. Because now that there is 3 fans, it raises the concern of, is this light loud? Let's back up just for a second. Where would you use this light? For the most part, for me, I would use it in a small, controlled environment like this for like talking head, interviews, nothing where it's too large of a space. Going back, this is only 100 watts. So a lot of times when I'm doing talking head videos like this, like my light right here, the Nan light, we're only at 15%. So I don't think I will be using anything more than 30% of this light, and at 100% you can notice the sound. It's not super loud, but you can hear it, and that can be a concern to a lot of people. But for the most part, when I was at 30% or below, I only had 1 fan running and I could not hear it. There are 3 ways to control this light. The first way is in the back of the light. There are 2 dials. One dial is the CCT, which controls the temperature, and the other dial which controls the intensity of the light. The second way is through an app. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. It's the ZY Vega app. Right now it says disconnected. So I'm gonna press reconnect. It just reconnects pretty fast. It connected. And I can go ahead and control the Kelvin. So I can go right now to a 2700, have it super warm, or I can go all the way up to a 6500, make it super cold. So I'm gonna turn it back to 5600. And now I can also control the intensity, go from a 0 all the way up to 100. Let me bring it back down to about, where was that? About 25%? Was that here? On the bottom there is a couple of features that you can do, like tungsten lamp. modeling light, fluorescent light, sunlight. And I'm gonna mention one thing that to me is a really cool thing about this app is on the sliders here, you can actually press the plus or minus sign that dials it specifically. So right now I'm at 24.8%, and instead of just sliding it and trying to find that 25%, I can just click the plus sign by 2, and now we're at 25%. And there's an on and off switch, which I can turn it on and off. Super nice and convenient. This app is really responsive, which I am impressed with, because a lot of companies out there that do the Bluetooth to the light, it's finicky. It takes a long time to connect. The app keeps crashing, it's super laggy, unreliable, but this app works really well, which surprised me. And the third way to control this light is through a device that you can purchase separately that connects to the back of the light through USB-C. There's a long wire. If you're putting this light on a very tall C-stand, you can put and attach to the C-stand at the bottom and control the light that way if you don't want to use your phone. Also too, totally forgot to mention about this app, but this feature in the app is a game changer. So if you go ahead and click on the light itself and you go to CCT pair, you can actually point this camera at anywhere and it's gonna match whatever it is you're in to the light. So if I go ahead and click on this white wall right here, it's gonna tell me, well, you wanna be at 4,000 Kelvin at 25%. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you click on that back button and it'll change the light automatically. Also too, what I love about this app is you can make custom profiles. So I don't have to go and turn on the light and remember my settings. Was I at 30%, 25%? Was I at 15%, 10%? And I can also have it at my Kelvin that I use for talking head videos or whatever it is, depending on the situation. I think that's a game changer because the apps I've used before, like SmallRig, didn't have that feature where you can make custom profiles for these lights. So if you're probably wondering why this bright light is on my face, it was because I was gonna show you guys the 13 programmed built-in effects in this light, but I don't wanna put any strobe or crazy flashing lights on screen, but there's a lot to choose from, like fireworks, paparazzi, flash, welding, strobe lights. I mean, it's pretty cool, especially if you're gonna be doing any sort of music video. Let's go ahead and talk about the cons of this light. Some of the things that I think can be better or some of the things I found annoying. The first thing I found pretty annoying is putting on any sort of attachments to the light itself. So when I attached this softbox, I found it being a little hard. Most of the lights that I own go from right to left, but this light goes from left to right. And I noticed that's how it is with the Amaran light, but with this light, I did find it a little hard to put on any attachments when the light is on the C-stand. That to me is kind of annoying because every single time I want to change it from a softbox to a lantern or back to the reflector, I'm gonna have to bring the light off the C-stand and then put it on. I think that to me is a little difficult. Also too, when you're releasing the softbox off the Bowens mount, I think the switch to unlock it is a little finicky, and I can see that being a problem long term. I can see that, you know, maybe getting stuck or maybe, I don't know, breaking. I think it's a little cheap and finicky. I just don't see it being very sturdy and high quality. The second con I found with this light is that it didn't come with a carrying case. So when this light came to my door, I was excited. I opened the box and came to realize there's no carrying case. I think that if it came with a carrying case, it would be a game changer. Just because most of the lights I have purchased do come with a case that's still running strong, but this light just came in the box with some foam, and yeah, that's pretty much it. However, the size and the weight of it is perfect enough to put in a bag, but having a case dedicated for this light specifically would be nice. And the third con is the fans. I think that as you kind of go up in intensity, you know, you start hearing the fans, especially when you get to the higher 80 to 100, but you probably won't even reach there. But with the lights, if you're staying under 10% or even under 20%, I don't really think the fans are gonna make much of a noise. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then yeah, you might be facing that struggle. However, I did realize that when the fans were on at 100%, it wasn't much louder than my computer fans or my air conditioner in my home. Another con with this light is it doesn't come with a manual. Now, it is a little confusing at first. how to like navigate through the menu system, how to get there, all that stuff. Because there is only 3 buttons, but you kind of have to press them on each side and you can double press it, and yeah, it's kind of weird. And the last but not least con that I found that to me isn't the biggest deal breaker, because I don't really use effects on lights. I mean, there's probably gonna be times when I'm like on a music video set and they're like, hey, we need this effect and this light has it, is that you can't use the effects in the app. Now that'd be something cool I want to see maybe in the future update, I don't know, but yeah, you cannot access the effects on top of the app. And there you have it, we're done. I am really impressed with this light, surprised by a lot of features, and I will have to say that this right here is a powerhouse of a light in a tiny package. And I will recommend this light over a lot of lights on the market, I will say that. If you are interested in purchasing this light, I will leave a link in the description below. It may or may not be an affiliate link. It may or may not help me out. But if you click on the link and interested in purchasing this light, it'll help a brother out. But I do appreciate you guys for sticking to the end. If you are still here, thank you. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this light just based off what I told you. I'm interested in hearing some of your concerns if you have any. But thank you guys for watching, and we're done. Thank you guys.